Okay, in Pygame, you can use the keyboard as a controller. Just to show you this basic little game I made. So using some of the skills that you learned in some of the previous videos, this will just load a background image. I think I've done that video already, but load a background image, and then you've got a little picture of Mario that you can control around the screen. So what you can't see is I'm using the up, down, left, right arrow keys just to move Mario around. Okay, so now I'll talk you through how I do that. First things first is you need to load the Mario image into a variable. Okay, so sorry, someone knocked on the door if it sounds a little bit disjointed. You load a Pygame image into a variable, and then the .convert simply just converts it to a something that's going to load a little bit faster, basically. So it will convert that image into something that's more suitable. You put it into that variable, and we can then use that image later on. The other little bits of code that I've added, because you should know all the bits that I've not highlighted here. So I've set a couple of variables, so some speed, x speed and y speed. So x speed being the x-axis, y speed being the y-axis, and I've set a starting position just of 10 and 10. That's not massively important, those ones, but I've set some x start and y start positions. Right, then down here I've got some game logic that's different, and in my main program loop I've got some extra stuff. So in my main program loop I've got these two little bits of code here. So what happens is, if the user if Pygame detects as an event where a key button has been pressed, and that's event type pygame.keydown, there's then further if statement to see which key it is that you're pressing. If the event key is k underscore left, which means the left keyboard key, you can get all these off the Pygame documentation online. What you need to write there for different keys on the keyboard. But k underscore left in capitals means left key, k underscore right means right, and then up and down. So if they press left, I'm going to take 3 away from the x speed, so that's going to be -3. If it's right, then it's going to be 3. So basically travel along the x to the right 3 pixels. -3 for left. Up is -3 because we're on the y-axis now, so 0 is at the top left hand corner. So if you're going -3, you're going towards 0, and k down is 3, so you're going that way. Then event type, again, if you press the key, if the key up is pressed, it detects which one's key up, and if you let go of the key and you bring it up, it sets it back to 0. So the speed is going to be going in the direction of the key you're pressing, and if you let go of the key, it's going to set it back to 0. Then in my game logic I've got this, so x start, which is the starting position, plus equals x speed. So if, for example, your character starts at an x coordinate of 10 and a y coordinate of 10, this variable is going to, if you don't press any keys, it's going to be x start plus equals 0. So if it starts at 10, you're adding 0, it's still going to be 10. If you say, I don't know, I'm pressing to the right and x speed is 3, x start plus equals 3, if it was 10 plus 3, it's 13. So we can edit these variables to basically influence the position of our character, because we're going to use these later on. This is the bit I've explained before about going towards the edges of the screen. So then when I draw my code here, look, I'm filling the whole thing white, I'm blitting my background image, and then I'm blitting my player, but this bit's the clever bit. Player image is my picture of Mario, and then the coordinates that I'm adding it to the screen is the x start and the y start, and they're dynamic, they're going to change when you press the keys. Okay, so it might start 1010 in the top corner, but as I press keys, you'll see it moving along the screen. So here, it started at position 10. If I press the right key down, I've not done it yet, but if I press the right key down, you can see, sorry, I'll just load that back up. You can see if I press the right key down, x coordinate, x speed is going to be set to 3. So as I press it down, every time this refreshes, this loop refreshes, it's going to keep increasing the position that is adding Mario to the screen, because it's doing this 60 times a second. it's going to keep increasing his by 3 pixels. Okay, so if I click in here and I press right, you can see he's going to the right. If I let go, it goes to 0 and his position will stay where it is, because every time it's adding on 0 to whatever his position currently is. If I press left, it does -3. Okay, if I press down, it increases the y coordinates by 3, and if I press up, it increases the y coordinates by -3. Okay, so that's basic movement and keyboard controller in Pygame.